A few days ago, I was driving around in my car and I pulled off to the local gas station so I could fill up my tank. So I got out of my car, walked over to the pump, took the nozzle off, put it in my gas tank, and as I was looking around, waiting for the gas to dispense fully, I noticed a couple of kids who were just standing outside the gas station entrance opening up what looked like Pokemon cards. I assumed they were Pokemon cards, and it wasn't anything that really surprised me at the time because I knew for a fact that this gas station did sell Pokemon cards. They've been selling them for a few months. There's a lot of different places now, convenience stores, gas stations, and places like that that are selling Pokemon cards, kind of out of nowhere, kind of getting in on the craze. So I didn't think too much about it. I finished filling up my gas tank, went inside to go pay for my gas, and as I was walking past, I looked a little bit closer, and I could definitely tell, yes, this is in fact Pokemon cards that they're opening. So I wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to talk to them at all. Just went in, went about my business, paid my gas, came out, and when I came back out, I saw one of the kids just starting to hoot and holler and get super excited. He was very, very happy, jumping up and down. And I looked over at him and I just couldn't help myself. So I was like, hey, did you pull something good? Like, just obviously insinuating that I knew what they were doing and I knew at least a little bit about Pokemon. And he looks over at me and he holds up this card that I can immediately tell was a rainbow rare, and I was a little bit too far away to make out exactly what the card was. So I walked over a little closer and I looked at it and I saw it was a Victini VMAX rainbow rare from Battle Styles. So I thought for a second, oh, okay, that's cool. And I asked him, I said, hey, is that your favorite Pokemon? That's a really cool card to pull. And he said, no, it's not my favorite Pokemon. And I was like, oh, okay. And he looks at me square in the face and says, but in like 5 years, this card is going to be worth $200. And I was standing there kind of shocked at that response because I didn't think that, I mean, these kids were probably 11, 12 years old. They weren't very old. So they probably, in my mind, hadn't done a ton of research, and I could be wrong. I shouldn't make assumptions about that, but I was very shocked and surprised that this person, this child, goes immediately to value, goes immediately to the price of a card, not just currently, but 5 years down the road. So I thought for a second and responded and said, oh, really? What makes you say that? Is it because it's a super rare card? Is it really hard to find? Because again, I didn't want to lead on that I knew too much about Pokemon or that I did anything with Pokemon for a living. So I just asked him if it was a card that was really, really rare. And he said, yeah, this is called a secret rare, or this is, some people call it a rainbow rare, and it's very, very difficult to pull. And I said, oh, awesome. So that means that in 5 years, it's going to be worth $200. It's going to be worth a couple $100s. And he said, yeah. And I said, are there a lot of cards that came out 5 years ago that are worth $200? And I didn't want to burst his bubble or tell him he was wrong or anything like that, because we honestly don't know where the market is going to be in 5 years, right? Like what happened this past year, it took a global pandemic to cause. This never happens. Like, this is something that's very, very strange. So the possibilities of this happening again are very unlikely, but not impossible. And I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody that they're wrong predicting the future market. So as he was talking to me, he's like, well, I don't know. I don't know if there's a lot of cards that were printed 5 years ago that are worth, $200 now. And I was like, oh, okay, but you're assuming that this card is going to be worth $200. And he said, yeah, I've done a lot of research. I've been collecting for the past year. He told me he does chores all the time, every day, so that way he can go to this specific gas station because he doesn't have a car. There's no like retail stores around here. He knows this gas station sells booster packs, so he goes to this gas station to kind of stock up on his inventory. So he's basically a little entrepreneur, which I think is really, really cool, and I don't think there's anything wrong with. However, my concern immediately was when he kind of went to value and kind of went to what I'm assuming, and again, I could be wrong, is an incorrect assumption of the market. So when he was talking to me about the research he was doing and telling me about all the YouTube channels that he's been watching and telling me about all the content that he sees, I was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. And I didn't want to burst his bubble, so I honestly didn't say anything else. And I said, well, congratulations, that's really, really cool. But I was hoping that maybe I planted a seed that would make him go home and kind of do some additional research on whether or not this card has a likelihood of being worth $500 or $200 or $300 5 years down the road from now. I mean, it is a Victini VMAX. I'm sure it's not overly rare, even though it's a rainbow rare. But that's all besides the point. As I was driving home, and really throughout the night, I started thinking more and more, and I started getting kind of not necessarily worried, but I guess concerned. And I started thinking about the market as a whole. And this is something that I've brought up now in the last couple of videos, saying that I was going to record a video about my concerns in the upcoming market. And this is kind of the first point that I wanted to make. And I started thinking about myself as a content creator and other content creators out there. And we've talked about this on this channel before briefly, just talking about PSA 10 values and talking about pack fresh cards and how they come out. And a lot of times content creators are automatically saying, you know, this card is worth $1,000 in a PSA 10. So automatically a lot of minds, especially minds who aren't necessarily overly educated in the game for years and years, are assuming that anytime they open up a pack, it's PSA 10 quality. And the problem with modern cards, especially for the past year, is the quality control just hasn't necessarily been there. So I don't know if this kid was talking specifically about PSA graded cards or specifically about raw cards. So I decided to do a little bit of research, and I looked up the Victini VMAX from Battle Styles to see when the last time one sold as a PSA 10. And as I suspected, there wasn't a whole lot of options available. So I looked on eBay and I just typed in PSA 10. There was one that recently sold in July, so end of July, July 31st, there was one that sold for $102.50 as a pop one, so population of one PSA 10. So this was the first Victini VMAX that kind of hit the market as a PSA 10, and that makes total sense because PSA is so backed up, Beckett is so backed up, PSA isn't even accepting bulk submissions. So somebody would have had to pay, you know, an additional cost to get this turned around fairly quickly. Battle Styles isn't a very old set. It came out, you know, a few months ago now. So it would make sense that there's not a whole lot in existence. But as a pop one, there's going to be more graded. There's going to be more PSA 10s out there. It was $102.50. So I started thinking to myself, well, what rainbow rares, what secret rares are worth $200 or more? And I just kind of did some digging and did some searching, and I found 7 of them that had a raw market price, not even necessarily actual, you can buy this near mint copy for this lowest price of $200 or more. So there was only 7 of them, and that goes back to, you know, the existence of when Rainbow Rares kind of started, which is what, 5-6 years ago now, 7 years ago, a while ago, because we started having Rainbow Rares in Sun and Moon base. So it's been a while. And there was only 7 of them that I could find that were a market price above $200 or more, like the Lugia GX, the Rainbow Rare Lugia GX. You could buy it on TCG Player for like $160 as a near mint raw copy, but the market price was still over $200, so I'm including that. So then I started thinking, okay, Pokemon is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. I want to know how many cards have a market price over $200 since Pokemon began. Because that's kind of what we're focusing on. That $200, like I said, it just kind of really stuck with me. It really resonated with me. So I'm looking, and there is 114 total cards that have been printed. This includes promo cards. This includes Tropical Beach. This includes Champions Festival. This includes cards that aren't printed in a main series set. 114 total cards that have a market price of $200 or more. There were 9,000 plus unique Pokemon cards as of 2017 from just main series sets. And with the size of sets now in the current modern world that we live in with Pokemon since then, I mean, you got to add thousands of additional unique cards to that pile, to that 9,000 existing ones. And that's not even including all the promo cards that have come out. That's not including all of the staff cards or the Tropical Beach, the Champions Festival, all those unique cards that have come out. So we're looking at 114 total. Now this is raw, this isn't graded. 114 total that have a market price of over $200. And who knows, as PSA continues to just bulk out those submissions, or I shouldn't say bulk out, but get through those bulk submissions, we have submissions that we sent back to PSA in October that we haven't received back yet, that are bulk submissions. Hundreds, thousands upon thousands of cards that have not hit the market yet that were sent in October, November, December, January of last year that have still not even impacted the market yet. So who knows where things are going. So I started thinking to myself, this child was really, really cool, because I appreciate the fact that he was starting to pay attention to something like this and started thinking about his future. He's looking at something 5 years down the road, which I do respect. I do think it's really cool. But as content creators that are kind of educating, what have we done that automatically we're going right to this value 5 years down the road. And I don't know specifically what channels he was watching, and it could have been mine. And unfortunately, that made me feel terrible. Like, I hope I haven't given advice that says, hey, your card is going to be worth $200 5 years down the road, because honestly, we don't know where the market is going to be 5 years down the road. We don't know where the market is going to be next year. If you ask me my honest opinion, I think that after celebrations, we're going to see a nice cool off. I don't think that Fusion Strike is going to be as crazy as what we saw for Evolving Skies, or even as crazy as what we saw for Chilling Reign. And then next year, I do expect to get obviously a new shiny set that I think is going to be very popular, but outside of that, I think that we're going to start seeing the market come back down to earth. And we've seen a lot of that over the past few months now. A lot of that since kind of Shining Fates came out, since the world started opening back up. Once competitive play starts opening back up next year, I do expect things to go down a little bit. But this just really had me kind of thinking about the market and why I'm concerned. And that was just one area of my concerns. In this video, I just want to talk about what I see and why I think the next few months are going to be a little frustrating. And I want to get, this is more of like, I guess, an opinionated video. And I am not an expert by any means. This is just my thoughts, using my historical analysis and my experience in the game to try and put together 2 and 2 and see that it makes 4. So I want to hear what everybody else thinks, and I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. So please leave a comment. Let me know if you think I'm way off, and if you do think I'm way off, please let me know why. And I totally respect everybody's opinion when it comes to this. But there are some areas of concern right now, and I want to talk about why we got here, or I should say how we got here, and why I'm concerned moving forward for the next few months. So first I want to talk about current LGS pricing and why I think that that plays a huge impact on the market and why it concerns me moving forward through celebrations and then even into Fusion Strike. So if you look at Fusion Strike right now, Fusion Strike is pre-ordering on some websites. Now, we haven't personally got allocations yet, and I can't speak for every storefront that's out there on whether or not they have actual allocations. I would be very surprised if they did, but I can't speak to that. But when I look and I see companies that are charging $180, $190 for Fusion Strike, we literally just got the set list like today. Like when I'm recording this video, we got the rest of the set list. We don't even have the secret rares in that set. Those aren't going to be revealed until like next week, Tuesday. The set is just coming out in Japan. So to have all of these allocation numbers and be throwing out prices that are $180, $190, there's some cool cards in the set, don't get me wrong. I love Chandelure. I'm very excited for Chandelure VMAX. I'm a fan of Mew. I'm excited for Mew VMAX. But other than that, outside of a few competitive cards that look really cool, I'm not super excited about some of these cards. Like, I already have Bolton V. I like Bolton V. But I already have a unique Bolton V, and I understand this one's going to be different, but I want like a Primate V. I want like a Rhyhorn V. I want something that's going to be unique that hasn't already been printed. So I'm not overly excited about that. Greedent VMAX, not overly excited about that. I already have a Greedent V. So while that card looks fun competitively, I already have a unique copy of that card. Give me a different Pokemon that hasn't already been printed as an Ultra Rare. That would be great. A Pokemon that hasn't been printed ever as an Ultra Rare. That would also be great. Something that's unique. That's what gets me excited. Something that's fun. But Fusion Strike, to already have these prices that are astronomically high, I understand where LGS has come from. And I'm somebody who gets to operate on both sides of the coin, right? Like, I get to see where things are going from a collector view, but also see where things are going from an LGS view. Even though I don't have an LGS, even though I don't operate a brick and mortar, I still have an online business that sells Pokemon products. So I still work for distributors, work with distributors to order product. I know what supply issues are going on out there. There is limited product to order. When I called up my distributor last week and I said, hey, what booster boxes you got for me? We're running a little bit low. And the reason we're running low is because booster boxes are flying off the shelf. They're going fast. So I said, do you have any Chilling Reign? Do you have any Battle Styles? Do you have any leftover Vivid Voltage just kind of sitting in a corner somewhere? They are completely out. Completely out. And that is my distributor that I work with. Like, that is my big distributor that I work with. That's not all the distributors out there. So that's one specific one that I called. They are completely out of booster boxes. They have theme decks that I can order. They have some V-Striker tins that I could order if I wanted to. They have some Calyrex boxes. They might have some Rapidash boxes, but those products aren't necessarily selling yet. The booster boxes are still selling. The 3-pack blisters are still selling. The single blisters are still selling, but I can't order them because they're gone. So I understand that a lot of LGSs are running into a huge supply issue and getting less product than they've ever had before, because basically they get their allocated waves, and once it's gone, it's gone. So a lot of them are kind of back and forth on the teeter-totter at what price to charge, because if they charge MSRP on all this product or lower, if they sell all their Evolving Skies booster boxes at $139.99 or $143, those are going to sell out right away. Then they've got no Evolving Skies. Then customers walk through their doors, they say, hey, you have any Evolving Skies? Nope. Okay, well, I'm leaving. Then they come back a week later. You have any Evolving Skies? Nope. Okay, well, then I'm leaving. Then they come back a week later. You have any Evolving Skies? Nope. Okay, I'm leaving. And eventually, after a few times, that store never has anything in stock. I'm not even going to waste my time going to that store. I'm just going to go to this one over here, or I'm going to go online, or whatever the case may be. But when we look at the booster boxes that are still available out there, when we talk about Evolving Skies, already ridiculously over MSRP. So $143, and Evolving Skies is selling for $160, $170, $180 for a booster box. Chilling Reign just passed a market price above MSRP. So it was up to $143. Now it's past that, like $145. Battle Styles remains the only booster box that is selling for MSRP, and it's not $85, $90 anymore. Now it's $105. Now it's $110. Now it's starting to creep up a little bit more in price. And as Evolving Skies and Chilling Reign continue to climb, and there's no other booster boxes that people can go out and buy or order, they just go to Battle Styles, which is going to start driving up that Battle Styles price. And when an LGS is looking and seeing that they can't order any product, they start thinking, well, I need to start charging more. I need to start charging more so this product doesn't fly off the shelf. 90% of the people that I'm selling it to anyways are just flipping it on the secondary market. They're the people who are getting here, lining up hours before I open, taking the product and selling it. And they can do things, they can introduce limits, they can do some things and give deals to rewards programs or whatever the case may be. But a lot of LGSs aren't putting time into that, they're not putting energy into that, they're not putting effort into that. Instead, they're worried more about being the only person at their store that's working, the only employee that they have. So they're focusing, all this energy on all the different things that they have to do in order to survive financially. So I understand where they're going. I understand what they're talking about. But at the same time, on the other end of the coin, when you start looking at prices and you see Celebrations products that are selling for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times MSRP, when you're talking about a Lance's Charizard V box, a collector's box, which is supposed to retail for $20. And I understand distributors, a lot of distributors, another area is that they have started to raise their costs a little bit. So a box that might have only costed $12 for them to order in the past is now costing them $15, $16. So they may look at it and they may say, hey, I got to make my profit on this. I'm going to charge $30. And I can understand that. But when they start getting up to $85, $90, $100, $110, to an extent, that's going to start causing attention, especially on the secondary market. Because when you're somebody who goes into a store and you see LGSs, not just 1 or 2, but a lot, who are selling for 5 or 6 times MSRP, there becomes this false sense of market of what a product is worth. And a lot of LGSs, I understand, need to sell this product because they want it to sell slowly. They don't want this product to just fly off the shelves and then their shelves are empty. They want their product to move a little bit more slowly. They want it to kind of steady out. So these secondary market sellers, or the people who are selling on the third market or whatever the case may be, when they see that $100 price tag for Lance's Charizard V, they think, holy cow. That box is only going to cost $20 at Walmart. And I have time. I have freedom. I have a car. I can drive 4 hours this way, 8 hours that way, 10 hours that way, 12 hours that way. I can hit up 80 different Walmarts. I can hit up 60 different Targets. I can hit up 50 different GameStops. I can buy out stock like crazy at $20 a piece, and I can take it home. I'll put it on OfferUp. I'll put it on Facebook Marketplace. I'll put it on eBay. I'll put it on wherever. Every single secondary market website that I can sell on, I'm going to sell it on, and I'm going to sell it for $90. And that is going to be $10 cheaper than the LGS is selling it for, but I'm going to make $70. I'm going to make $70 on this one box. So that is part of the problem when we start seeing prices advertised, frustrated customers complaining, drawing all this attention. And we're going to have a lot of eyes and a lot of attention that come back to this game, to this hobby. And why is that? Because stock is limited. Stock is falling. Stock isn't there. Pokemon said last year they're going to print to demand. They're going to do what they can. And I believe that they're doing a really good job. And that's something that we'll talk about at the end of this video. I do think things are getting better. But when it comes to LGSs, stock is different. We're talking about booster boxes. We're talking about certain things that an LGS can order from distributors. They can't order from a marketing company that stocks retail stores. They can't order directly from Pokemon. So there's problems there. They're running into issues there. They're handcuffed with how much they can get. Whereas Pokemon Center just put up Celebrations ETBs again yesterday. And a lot of people got them. And that's awesome. GameStop, Best Buy, a lot of these places still have sleeve booster packs of Evolving Skies available online. They limit people, but they're getting this massive amount so that way it can start filtering through the general public at MSRP pricing. Pokemon Center has done a good job of running out of sleeve boosters of Evolving Skies and then restocking them again. Sure, there's purchase limits on it, but there you go, $3.99. It's not $6, it's not $7, it's not $5, it's $3.99. It's $4.18. Whatever the case may be, wherever you're located, it's selling at MSRP for that specific product. So a lot of people are looking at this and they're starting to buy this stuff up. Because they're thinking, oh, well, I can always flip this on the secondary market. I can sell this later. I can hold on to this. I can open this up. I see these singles are selling for $150, $200. And then we start seeing all of these eyes that are paying attention to a game that they kind of fell out of because prices started falling down. So I understand that the current issues with LGS pricing is frustrating, and I get that. And I honestly want to tell you that I genuinely understand where you're coming from because I am genuinely trying to look at both sides of the coin. I can understand LGS is out there charging a little bit more, and I can understand people getting frustrated because they're charging more. But what I can't understand is companies that are charging double MSRP before they have allocations, before sets have even been released, before we have any information, and taking advantage of a price market before a price market has even been established, because that creates a false market. And when we start selling product, if I was going on and I was listing all of our ultra premium collections at $500, then I'm setting a market price for my specific business. But when other companies see that price at $500 and start seeing LGSs charging $500, then they start doing it. And when the secondary market sees all of these selling for $500, they're going and they're buying up pre-orders. They're buying up any pre-order that they can see that's going to be $300, $350, and then they're listing it on eBay. And some of them, they might just start selling to themselves. Some of them, they just might start shill bidding. They may just start buying up this product, so that way it creates a false sense of market. And that's what concerns me. But when we move forward, as we continue to move forward into Celebrations, we have supply issues. And moving on from just talking about LGSs and talking about that secondary market where we're kind of creating this false sense of market, I'm not blaming anybody in specific. So I'm just saying that this is stuff that concerns me moving forward and why I think we need to take some kind of corrective action now to kind of save ourselves from what might be a drama-filled holiday moving forward over the next few months. So as we have delays, we had delays with the EV Tins, we had delays with the Evolving Skies Elite Trainer boxes. Now we have delays with Battle Styles booster boxes. Wave 3, which was supposed to release, I believe, at the end of August, has now been pushed back until the end of October. We have Chilling Reign Wave 2, which was supposed to be released at the end of August, has now been pushed back to the end of October. And what concerns me about that is we're supposed to have Evolving Skies Wave 2 come out at the end of this month. And when I talked to my distributor earlier this week, there was no sign, no hint, no information saying that there was going to be a delay. So we fully expect this product to still come out at the end of September. However, does it make a whole lot of sense that Wave 2 of Evolving Skies is going to come out before Wave 2 of Chilling Reign? Not really. So I am anticipating Evolving Skies booster boxes to get delayed for Wave 2 to sometime in November, possibly when you see Fusion Strike come out, possibly the week after, because they have done a good job of kind of throwing a bunch of product out at once. So if you have the end of October, kind of beginning middle of November, everybody's kind of hyped up on celebrations, and then all of a sudden you have all these main sets released, that could be helpful. But it's not going to help us get through these next couple months. So all of these delays, all of these supply issues are causing problems. And that kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, when you start seeing all the extra eyes that come on Pokemon because they see these prices starting to climb and starting to get higher and higher. Then they start looking at MSRP and they start knowing, hey, I can just go to a local retail store, buy it out, and sell it for 4 times MSRP. I'm going to be sitting pretty this Christmas. I can buy all the gifts for all my friends. I can buy all the gifts for myself. This is going to be great. I still got another 6 months of Pokemon that I can take advantage of before I have to go back to whatever else. And when these delays happen, people start really focusing on these main series sets and the sets that they can find. So you're starting to look at Evolving Skies climb in price, and we don't know that there's going to be a delay yet, and I really hope that there's not. And I hope that they continue to produce and pump out enough Evolving Skies that the prices continue to fall and people start getting excited about Evolving Skies, not from just a financial aspect, but from, hey, I can buy this product at MSRP, I can pull these great, awesome alternate art cards, I can pull these great, awesome artworks throughout the set, and I can get it at a reasonable price. But as more eyes start looking at it and they start seeing, oh, Evolving Skies is climbing in price. Oh, this booster box is selling for $200 now. Well, I pre-ordered 6 of them, or I pre-ordered 20 of them. I was going to save them long term, but what I'm actually going to do now, I only paid $100 a piece for them because I bought cases for $600. So I'm just going to rip them open, sell them for double what I paid for them, and then I'll wait until Wave 2, or I'll wait until Wave 3, and I'll rebuy those back in at $115. Or you start seeing booster boxes and you start seeing rip and ships for $8, $9, $10 a pack for Evolving Skies. And people see this and they're like, whoa, these are only like $4 at Target. I'm going to go buy up Target. And I know there's a lot of places that are already running into issues with stock at Target or at Walmart. But there's still a lot of places, a lot of cities that have their local Target and have their local Walmart that are stocked really well with a lot of this product. So when you start seeing more eyes start focusing on this, they're going to go to what they see as the highest price. So they're going to find Evolving Skies. And eventually, what if that means Evolving Skies is gone? Well, then they're going to move to Chilling Reign. And now that you can already see Chilling Reign start climbing a little bit up to past that MSRP, what's going to happen? Well, it's going to get to $200 a box, and then it's going to be gone at retail stores. And all they're going to have left is Battle Styles. And all of a sudden, you have Battle Styles, which I personally love Battle Styles. But we had sets before that were kind of duds, right? We've had like Crimson Invasion before, where a lot of people drove up Crimson Invasion prices or Steam Siege prices because there just wasn't any other product available. So then Battle Styles is kind of hitting this mark where it was only $90, it was only $100 a booster box, and there was tons of it available, to now it's just starting to get less and less available. And now all of a sudden you have booster packs being sold for $4 at retail stores, being bought up and then flipped online for $6 or $7 because there's no stock in some areas. And then other people are catching on to that and they're doing the same thing. And the reason this is all happening is because of supply issues, because there's just not enough product to hit demand. And that's what I'm concerned about moving forward because of these delays. These delays, I think, have really hurt things, and as more attention gets drawn to it, as more frustration gets thrown out there, people are going to, it's more than likely that people are going to start taking advantage of the product, of the market. With higher booster box prices, like you see from LGS stores, as they can't get any more inventory and they're holding a case of Evolving Skies because that's all that they have left. So they're selling it for $180 because they don't want it to just fly off the shelf and be sold on the secondary market. People start paying attention to this lower cost items. They start paying attention to 3-pack blisters. They start paying attention to sleeved boosters. They start paying attention to ETBs and things like that they can get at a cheaper cost that they can go around and they can turn, they can flip. Or there's so much attention given to it and so much attention being driven by pack openings and things like that all of a sudden a lot of collectors decide, oh, well, it was nice to take a few months off, but it looks like there's product available again, so now I'm going to start buying again so I can fill up my binder. And then you have this perfect storm of a mesh where everybody is kind of excited at the same time again because half the market is taking it from a collector's perspective, half the market is taking it as, hey, I can pay for all my Christmas gifts this year and not have to spend $1 of my paycheck because I can just do it on the side by scalping all these products that I get from Target or Walmart or whatever the case may be. While Pokemon has done a fantastic job of keeping up with printing to demand in many markets and supply marketing companies with enough stock to fill several retail locations, I worry that it might not be enough. Retailers have done a great job introducing limits, and even Pokemon has done a better job of using their internal warehouse as a surplus supplier, having additional offers consistently popping up online. However, if this starts running dry and stock continues to sell out immediately, we could run into issues where other unwanted products start getting bought out. And I can tell you honestly, for a long time, on our website, we had Calyrex boxes that sat, we had Rapidash boxes that sat, we had V-Striker tins that sat, and they were selling for MSRP. We just left them at MSRP. We didn't do pre-orders on them higher like some companies did. We didn't reduce the cost of them because they weren't selling. We just left them. But they are starting to move a lot faster than they were before, and the reasoning behind this is because there's less other product to buy. People want to open packs. People want to open packs. And if there's not enough packs available, if booster boxes are getting to a point where they're just too expensive, they start looking at ancillary products. They start looking at those collection boxes. They start looking at those single pack blisters and those 3-pack blisters, and then those start selling. And eventually you find yourself in an area where there's just no product available, and that causes all this demand to kind of freak out, causing prices to just rise. Then we have celebrations, and this is the celebrations impact of the market. Release date, waves, supposedly coming out during the holiday season. So we have the first 5 products or so that are coming out October 8th, the next batch of products coming out October 22nd. So there's like 8 products total or something like that, where a little over half of them come out on October 8th, and the other 40% or 30% come out on October 22nd. Then Wave 2 is supposed to come at the end of November. Wave 3 is supposed to come at the end of December. And as all these additional eyes start coming on Pokemon because they see these pre-order prices very high, they see this demand very high, they see this supply very low, a lot of additional eyes come out, and that stuff gets bought up because everybody wants it for the holidays. And everybody is going to start doing their Christmas shopping, their holiday shopping a lot earlier this year than what they have in the past because they're experienced now. We went through delays last year. We know that there's going to be distribution issues. So we want to start our holiday shopping in October instead of December. We want to start it in the middle of October, and what comes out in the middle of October? Celebrations. My kids love Pokemon. They want Pokemon for Christmas. I can buy them all these Pokemon products. Oh wait, I can't find any in the store. They really want this celebration set. Let me look online. And then you start seeing these prices that people are willing to pay so that way they can get their gifts for Christmas. Or that's going to be the celebrations impact this holiday season. And I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. I'm saying that this is a concern of mine. Prices on pre-orders already being through the roof, plentiful stock in many areas, but still not enough to meet demand, and limited stock on some of the more in-demand items. Sorry, I made like this long outline of everything that I wanted to make sure that I hit, and I'm just trying to make sure that I don't miss anything before I wrap up here. But when we talk about celebrations, and we've talked about allocations for celebrations, and they were very good. They were great. They were high numbers. However, demand is so high. Demand is so ridiculously high that even having strong numbers when it comes to allocation is not going to be anywhere near enough. As a larger online retail store, we have the ability of getting quite a bit of product, but it's not even a drop in the bucket. It's not even 1% of demand that is going to get filled. You could combine our business with, let's say, the actual big businesses out there, Troll and Toad and Collector's Cache and Cool Stuff Inc. and a lot of those, and Game Nerds, Toy Wiz, a lot of these big online companies. You could compare all of us together and start looking at how much does this make up of the market, and you're talking about 1, 2, 3%. Not anywhere near enough to fill demand. So when you have all of this stock that's coming out, but still not enough to hit demand because it's coming out in waves, you start having that FOMO issue. You start having all of this FOMO come up, and people are like, okay, well, this is just going to be the price, I guess, so I'm just going to be willing to pay that. And it's tough to tell them not to, because they do have the holidays coming up. They do have events that they want to get something for. They do have moments in their life where they celebrate by opening cards because it's a huge moment for them. Yesterday, I had my birthday. I opened up a box of Evolving Skies because I wanted to celebrate my birthday. Like, that was just fun for me. I just wanted to see what I would pull. I wanted to look at the cards. I just wanted to open up some Pokemon cards for my birthday. Other people do that too, I hope. Hopefully it's not just me. with the release of Celebrations coupled with low stock on the most recent sets, a lot more eyes could be re-entering the market during a very sensitive time. So we already covered that a little bit, but that really starts kind of making this perfect storm on product. Low Celebration supply due to buyouts coupled with low supply of main set products could mean, it could just mean a very, very frustrating time. And it could not happen. I could be wrong. This is a concern that I have, but that does not mean it's going to happen. Things could be okay, but I don't know, because I run an online LGS. I run an online store, and I don't run an actual brick and mortar LGS. So while I'm kind of coupled in with a lot of them, because I can see what the market is looking like from a distribution aspect, I don't know what Pokemon is doing. I can't just call up Pokemon and be like, hey, how's your supply looking? What are we looking at? And Pokemon could be doing a fantastic job of making sure that they are just printing this product through the roof and stocking every Walmart, every Target, every GameStop, every Best Buy, every Barnes & Noble, every grocery store up the block. They could be stocking all of these marketing companies through their roof. Their factory is bursting with single pack blisters and ETBs, and they're going to have millions of Celebrations ETBs all over the market. Pokemon could be doing that. And they could have something in their back pocket where they have warehouses that they just all of a sudden bought out to stock Celebrations products, so that way they can be like, go ahead, sell your allocated 10 ultra premium collections at $400, $500, $600. We have 100,000 sitting in a warehouse that we're going to sell for $120. And that could happen. And I hope it does. Honestly, I hope it does. But I'm worried that it's not. Pokemon has done a really good job of printing to meet demand in some areas, to stock these single pack blisters, to stock 3-pack blisters, to stock ETBs. And that's why you see set releases, a lot of these pre-order prices kind of being super high and then start coming down after release on some of those ancillary products. And we're not talking about booster boxes, but we're talking about Elite Trainer boxes that are selling for $60, $70, $80 prior to release. And now all of a sudden they're down to MSRP. Well, we haven't had Wave 2 yet, but the product is starting to be more and more available in stores because marketing companies are getting more. Because Pokemon is selling more on PokemonCenter.com. PokemonCenter.com usually had a ton of stock because nobody was selling at $143. But Pokemon stuck to MSRP, so they were selling booster boxes at $143. They were selling booster packs at $4. But online stores, LGSs, back in the day when we're talking 2-3 years ago, you couldn't sell packs for $2.50. You couldn't sell booster boxes for $90. It was very difficult. So that's what you had to price your stuff. Nobody bought stuff off of the PokemonCenter.com when it came to trading cards because they had so many different outlets where they could buy them for ridiculously cheaper. $50 cheaper than MSRP. So they bought them from those. But now Pokemon Center is kind of like the saving grace because they have these opportunities and they're kind of taking advantage of that by showing it often. And yeah, they get bought out a lot, and yeah, bots take over, and I understand that. But Pokemon has also done a really good job of kind of putting them up at random times, not communicating when they're going to be putting stuff up, and then just keep popping them up. And it gets fed into different Discords, so definitely make sure that you are in different Discords. I can actually leave a link for our Discord down in the description below if you want to join. But a lot of different Discords, a lot of Twitter people that you can follow that are kind of telling you when these products drop, so that way you at least have somewhat of a fair advantage to go and buy these at retail cost, at MSRP. Which is great. I think that's fantastic. But I don't know if that's going to be the case, and that's why I'm concerned. I'm cautiously optimistic when it comes to Pokemon Center, GameStop, Target, Walmart having enough product to kind of feed everybody, feed the demand. That's what I'm cautiously optimistic about, which is causing me some sort of concern. And what we can do as collectors, one thing that we can do is we can kind of do our best to not FOMO right at the beginning and not pay these crazy prices. And I understand that some people have the money and they want to throw the money at the product because they just want the product. And that's fine. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. But I do think it's important to try and be patient. And as much and easy as it may be for me to say that, I don't know any other solution to the issues that we have had in the past that could be repeating themselves in the future here. As easy as it might be to kind of FOMO over new product, and like I said, I understand people have, some people have the freedom, the cash that they can kind of throw at product at market price, and that's just important to them, and I get that. But at the same time, we need to make sure that we speak with our wallets, and we tell ourselves, hey, this is a very frustrating thing, but the more frustration I show and the more attention I show to the frustration, it's only going to cause problems. It is important to have these discussions, but it's also important to have understanding. And I think that's something that we really lacked when we kind of went through this a little while ago. You have to understand where everybody is coming from, but at the same time, hammer home points without kind of throwing out frustration, throwing out shade, and throwing out anger, because it's not going to get any better doing that. In a lot of cases, it just gets worse. I've seen a lot of times talking to people who sell product secondary level for double, triple MSRP, whatever the case may be. They know what they're doing. They're trying to make money. They don't have any shame in their game. So when people throw shade at them, or when people get frustrated with them, a lot of them are just being like, hey, more attention to me, more eyes on my product. There's a lot of people who are willing to pay market price. So it doesn't help by just getting frustrated and angry and mad. So I understand that there's going to be FOMO, and I understand that people are going to want to open up this set, and buy all this product, and I get that. Have it for your sealed collection, have it to open, whatever the case may be. But patience is going to be important over the next few months, because I don't know where the market is headed, and I don't think anybody does. And I hope I'm wrong, and I very much could be. But I wanted to open up the dialogue and at least start talking about it, and at least get it out there, so that way we could all have calm, rational responses and give each other an understanding of, hey, we're all in this together. Let's figure out ways that we can kind of help each other out to make sure that we get this product at least at a reasonable price. We understand LGSs need to make a living. They need to keep their doors open. They might be getting charged a little bit more from distributors. And we understand that collectors want to get the product. So as long as we can understand that, if we can come to a common ground and start figuring out solutions together, I think the market's going to be just fine. But these are the areas that have me concerned moving forward over the next few months. And I'm hoping that once we get past these next few months, things start really improving as competitive play opens up, hopefully in 2022. Because the last thing I want to do is see a lot of people get frustrated and upset and then kind of drop out of the hobby altogether, because I love this hobby and I love everybody in this community. I think it's great. Like, this is such an important part. All of the friendships that I've made, all of the relationships that I've developed, it's just going to events, there is nothing like it. So having that start up again and having that happen again is really, really important to me. It's a really big deal, and I think it would be fantastic for a lot of you to kind of coming together, seeing, hey, there's different areas of this market, there's different pieces of this pie, there's investors, there's business owners, there's collectors, there's players. There's no reason that they all can't get along, but at the same time, faulty information, fake markets, all these extra things that we're kind of throwing into the game, they need to go away. And I don't know how else to say it. We need to figure out a solution to do better. And I am very, very sorry if I have done something in the past that kind of has incited this, hey, this card is going to be worth $200 in 5 years. I promise you that was not my intent, and I need to do a better job then of moving forward to make sure that I'm not creating a false market, because that's not what I want to do either. Guys, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this ridiculously long video. I don't think I've ever talked this long before on a video, so thank you very much for at least listening to what I have to say. Please let me know in the comment section down below just talk to me. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're concerned about. Let me know what you're happy about. Let's figure this out together, guys. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to leave a thumbs up if you haven't already. Until next time, peace.